What's up, guys? Like, what's funny here? So crazy to even say that, but I was looking at. I've heard something about it a little bit ago, and I was kind of didn't look too much into it. But honestly, it reminds me so much of when World of Warcraft came out and was like, "Hey, don't you guys have phones? It's Diablo Mobile. Like, this is the greatest thing. You guys, everyone can play it together. Families can play it. Everyone's gonna have a great time. This is gonna be amazing for everyone, and everyone's gonna love it." But that's not how it went. And now I think it's actually like severely pay to win. I'm pretty sure that the whales own the whole thing. They basically run it all, and everyone else is just there to make sure the whales keep on paying. That's the reality, right? They come in, it's free to play, you play for free, you get absolutely wrecked. Like, I'll spend a few bucks, then you realize I gotta spend thousands of dollars, and then you realize free to play is way more expensive than just buying the actual game, and then them trying to pawn off to you all these DLCs. But what's so crazy is, once again, it happened again. I thought after all that publicity, all the bad PR, it was gonna be like, hey, that's not gonna happen anymore. Nothing's gonna happen. They're going to stop doing that sort of stuff. But here we go again. And this time it was actually with Borderlands, which is crazy because I don't think they have much more room to play around with. World of Warcraft kind of has that stable group of people who have such a legacy built of history that it's kind of hard to just throw away. You have this character you spent like 15 years with. You don't just throw that character away. So let's see what's going on with the Borderlands world. As gamers express concern about Borderlands 4 potentially costing $80, which is that's a lot of money, dude. Especially right now, that's a lot of money. Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford says, "If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen." I think the problem is, number one, he said that. That was not a smart thing to say. It's very bad for public relations and publicity. It's so bad. But the reality is, not only did he say that, but he rubbed it. If he said, "If you're a real fan, you'll do it," which I appreciate. I get it. I totally do, except for they haven't really had a good game since like Borderlands 2. Borderlands 1 was amazing. Borderlands 2, I loved it. I actually think we were still playing Borderlands 2 with subscribers like 10 years ago. Now, I don't know. Now it's kind of like I played Borderlands 3. I didn't finish it. It wasn't because I was just really bad at it. It just really wasn't all that fun for me. It was kind of fun. The humor was kind of there. I think they kind of pushed a lot of characters that didn't need to be pushed. It honestly wasn't very interesting. Gaming as a whole is kind of like tanked, but the price keeps going up and up and up. And I'm like, this is the quality gets worse, but the price is going up, and I'm not really sure where that lapse is coming from, why they can get away with that. But wow, that's a lot of money. That really, especially right now with all the layoffs, the market's really tough. You're just slapping with. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way. How many real fans are there left for Gearbox? Is it even Gearbox anymore? I just said that, assuming I'm gonna assume it is. Yeah, I'm gonna. If I'm wrong, if someone will correct me, but I'm gonna assume that's what it is. But okay, outspoken Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford has responded to a fan who expressed concern about the prospect of paying $80 for Borderlands 4 when 3 wasn't even good enough for me to finish. And I think I got it on like crazy good sale, and I was like, it's just kind of. I even played with a friend. I'm like, this just really isn't it, dude. I didn't like it. You'll find a way to make it happen. Yeah, that was probably not the play. The video game industry has jumped to $80. The first with Nintendo and Mario Kart World, which is I remember playing that on Nintendo 64, and I had an absolute blast back then. But I don't think it's the same now. Yeah, this jumped. That's crazy. Then with Microsoft and its price hike announcement that will kick off in this holiday season, could Borderlands 4 follow suit? I really don't think they should. Publisher 2K, which I'm pretty sure is Gearbox, unless I'm mistaken. Someone will correct me. And parent company Take Two. Take Two. I recognize that name from a different game actually, but I can't remember the name of it. Have so far remained vague on whether they will go to $80. Randy Pitchford has insisted the decision is out of his control, but also slapped you in the face with, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way. Because if you're not, well, then you can't play, man. Only real fans can play. Uh, that's bad. Pitchford set the cat amount among the pigeons. Set the cat of Pitchford set the cat among the pigeons. Sorry. Reading comprehension tough by saying that if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Yeah, that's just not good, man. Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed that notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. Oof, not my call. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school. So yeah, when minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. That is, oh, that is the worst. That you just doubled down so hard. It makes me cringe inside because as a person who has grown and matured over the years, I can look back at some of my old 10, 11-year-old comments on just some people who are just bashing me. And I'm like, why did you even respond with that? You made it worse on yourself, dude. You made it so much worse. He made it so much worse. It was okay. No, it was bad. It was bad. And he made it so much worse because he said that. I mean, that is bad. That's bad news. That comparison right there. Hey, it's not my call. If you're a real fan, you'll do it. Back when the games was, I'm sorry, I had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. Come on, dude. Come on. This when I was just at high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor, which would have bought you a full-on house back then in Pismo Beach, which you could have bought a house for. I mean, would have literally been peanuts at the time, and then held on to it and sold it for like $10 million because now even the tiniest little hobbles are worth millions and millions of dollars. So I think it's just a really bad comparison to say, hey, I used to work at an ice cream parlor. I'm sorry, man. It was different times. Different times. It's not as fun. It's not cute to joke about anymore. It's not fun to joke about. That was bad. That was bad that he said the $80. That was bad. It was worse that he doubled down. And it got even worse because he rebutted with, hey man, I found a way because I was a real fan. That's just bad, dude. Anyway, I saw this and I had to share. There's more, but I don't want to get into it because there's a bunch of comments from people who are just not very happy, which obviously that makes sense. I wouldn't be very happy either. But we're gonna end it on that. I think it's really crazy that they can go about this and just throw something so arbitrary to them, like $80 if you're a real fan to figure it out. When people have so much loyalty and they have nostalgia and they have the feels like, man, if Borderlands was a good game, I would be a real fan. But the last one wasn't. And at least Borderlands 3, I didn't play the tabletop one, like Tiny Tina's Adventures. It looked funny. I heard Tiny Tina's not even in for, as far as I know. I don't think they ever contacted her. Who didn't love Tiny Tina from like Borderlands 2? So nowadays, I don't know. That was bad. That was bad. I think there's even an apology, but I think it's really hard to come back from that. I do. After the whole "don't you guys have phones" incidents, like at BlizzCon, I really thought no one would make a mistake as bad as that, and he made the mistake. Then he said, "I have no control, but it is what it is," and he really, I mean, he seriously doubled down right here with that. That's so bad. That's just disgusting, man. These people are so out of touch with the people that play their games, the people that they've made so many memories with. That's rough. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I for me, I'm not a real fan of Borderlands 4 or Borderlands in general anymore. I love to. Maybe I'll get it, but for $80, I mean, I better be impressed, man. There better be some really cool characters. There better be like a Tiny Tina in there who's kind of your normal crazy. I don't know. That's just a lot of money. And after that statement, I'm kind of like, there's so many other games out there. Not that there's like a lot of great games, but I remember back in even like 2011 or 12, I bought like Dungeon Defenders for $20. It was on sale, and that was like the greatest price per game that I paid for enjoyment, like length. I got so much longevity out of the game, so much. And I feel like with this, I'd get like a week or two, and I'd really start to fizzle out. But I guess we'll see. He keeps trying to turn it around. That's rough though, and that was worse. That's what you don't do. Like if you kind of are in a bad spot in an argument, you don't double down with, "Oh, it's not my call." And if you're a real fan, you find a way. I used to be back in my day, but I went up both hills, going up, to school in the snow. It's 20 feet of snow uphill both ways. It's always the story, right? I worked in an ice cream parlor, minimum wage. I found a way. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. You lost me on that. Anyway, y'all have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by.